Hi, everyone, and welcome back to episode 26 of the Simply One podcast. I'm your host, Colin, and I'm joined by my co-host, Chris.
Don't call it a comeback! I don't know the rest of the lyrics. That's literally like the only part of the song I know.
All right, we're just...
What are you doing, everybody?
We're just a couple of best friends. We're
I'm
passionate
back.
about all things pop culture. If you're looking for lukewarm takes on movies, video games, TV shows, or even the occasional comic, then we've got the show for you.
I know you missed me.
I was going to say...
Hide your mama. Hide your sister. Daddy's in town.
Oh, yeah. This week we got good old Chris here back in the mix.
Yeah, that's
Prodigal
right.
son returns.
You thought you could get rid of me, huh?
That's right. We thought maybe we'd gotten you gone for good.
I'm just like the shit.
That's aggressively unprofessional. I like that in the middle of you being like, yeah, you can't get rid of me. I'm the best. I'm back. Your fucking phone goes off in the middle of recording.
Oof.
Man.
I swear I never have my sound on.
You know whose phone didn't go off in the middle of recording?
Here we go. And it begins.
Morgan's. No, did you get to listen to her episode?
I did. It was really good. I'm glad to be back. Let's just put it like that.
Let's put it that way.
Yeah, that's good. It's good to be back.
No, I was going to say, she did an excellent job, but I am glad to have you back with me. It just wasn't the same without you here, It was like three doors down, I'm here without you, baby.
I'm listening to the podcast, looking out like a sunken window, it's gloomy and all by myself.
That's the fucking Kid Rock Sheryl Crow song. Was it, I put your picture away.
yeah.
It's just you looking at a picture of me laying on the bed. All sunburnt and fucking lobster red. You're in pain.
Dude, yeah, I was fucked up when I came home.
I know, you came home right as we started recording.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Scared the shit out of us because we thought you weren't going to be home for another 3 days.
And I just came back. It just makes me think of the meme with Muscle Man where the door slowly opens and it's just him and it's just his flesh.
Yeah, because you were bright red and you're just like, I was like, well, Morgan, do you still want to do it or do you want Chris? And you were like, no, make her do it. I can't.
I was like, I cannot. Yeah, I needed to sleep.
And yeah, you were so fucking sunburnt. But no. You know what we need? We need fart mics.
I completely agree.
Just a microphone that sits down by our butts. And so we can just be like, uh-oh. No, so we're doing a pretty news-heavy episode this week, honestly. We're going to be taking a look at Gamescom Opening Night live, and then all of the footage and announcements that we got out of that. But before that, we still actually have quite a bit of general news to talk about. We've got to talk about the Star Trek 4 director dropping out for a Marvel gig.
Oh.
The DC may have found their Kevin Feige.
Mm?
Ezra Miller has actually been to meet with Warner Brothers since they announced they were going to seek help. There's been some delays at DC, though.
Sure.
The BioShock film has a director.
Okay.
And then the House of the Dragon premiered on HBO. And was pretty big. It was huge.
Probably won't watch it.
I watched it, and it was actually pretty decent, I felt.
I haven't seen Game of Thrones.
You don't need to have.
No?
No, it's a prequel.
By
like 200 years.
So there might be a little lore.
No, I mean...
No, there's not.
No, there's not.
There's no lore.
This is lore for the original series.
Game of Thrones, yeah.
Yeah. But, yeah, so yeah, we got a lot to talk about before we get into all the games from Gamescom, so you just want to start running on it?
Fucking spit them at me.
Spit it. Spit.
I just gotta say, before we get into it, today was the first day I got recognized for my podcast.
Yeah. No, I mean, technically.
Technically. But it was my buddy's parents, and I just haven't seen them or anything like that, and I walked past them, and then they're like, oh, hey! And I was like, oh, hey, I don't ever talk to them without my buddy being there.
Right, yeah.
It's like, this is like the first or second actual conversation we've ever had. And they're like, hey, we really like the podcast. And I was like, really? And they're like, yeah.
Psych!
And they just
Call you a fucking nerd.
Fucking loser! You freak! You're worthless! You did better!
Just in the fucking chip aisle at Wally World, just
Just beating the shit out of me, holding on to the shelf, kicking me, making me bite the curb.
Yeah, they're actually just it's a murder. Like, no, I'm glad you brought that up, only because I also meant to mention something, and I'll have to put it in like the title of some way. Today, or this episode, I suppose, marks our 6 months of doing the podcast.
Whoop whoop.
I've been doing it for 26 episodes, 52 weeks in a year, so this is a halfway point, baby.
It really doesn't feel like that long.
No, not at all. It's like any good relationship, you know? Feels like we've been doing it longer than that, and like we just started, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, it doesn't feel like we've been doing it that long. But then again, I sometimes can't remember what, like, my last name is, so
Yeah, or your last meal.
That is true. Oh. I'm starting to peel, and I'm just like I'm molting.
Like a fucking tarantula, just shedding its exoskeleton. You're just gonna have you ever seen like time-lapse videos of that, where they're just laying on their back, and it's just I'm just picturing that, but it's you on the middle of your bedroom floor. Just on your back, twitching, and skin's flaking off.
For whatever reason, the ground's just wet.
Yeah, there's just moisture.
All right. This build-up.
All right, let's talk about some shit. What do you think?
Yeah, let's... Dude, I'm so ready to fucking talk.
All right, let's start right here at the top. Matt Shackman, whose name I love. He's known for his work on the Game of Thrones. It's always set in Philadelphia. And then most famously, he was like the showrunner, I believe, for WandaVision.
Oh.
So he's dropped out of his directorial duties on the upcoming 4th Star Trek film out of like the newer series with Chris Pine.
Mm-hmm.
And he joined that project in September of 2021. So almost a year now he's been attached to that. But he has since been attached to the Fantastic Four film for Marvel after John Watts stepped away from the project. And so there were some schedule conflicts, and it seems he was like, well, I don't see... Because also, Star Trek 4, or whatever they're going to call it, has been in some stage of development for like years now. And they just... Originally, they weren't going to be able to pay Chris Pine enough, and then they were going to have to bring Chris Hemsworth back as his father, because it was going to be a time travel movie, apparently. But unfortunately for them, when they cast Chris Hemsworth as the father in like the first Star Trek that came out in like 2007, Chris Hemsworth was nobody. You know what I mean?
Right.
And now he's fucking Chris Hemsworth, and they were like, oh, we don't have to pay him Chris Hemsworth wages, you know? And
sorry.
Sorry about it. But so they're in a weird spot there where that movie, I don't even know if it's ever going to get made anyway. So I think for him, it's like, well, which movie do you make? This one that's going to make, you know, some money maybe if they release it, or a massive Marvel tentpole movie. You follow that cheddar, baby, you know?
What it is to be a sellout.
Yeah, right? And he's already got a little bit of a relationship with him, because you figure he basically started their TV on Disney Plus with WandaVision. And that obviously did very well, got like 24 Emmy nominations and shit, so I've got faith in him. That's like a double news. That's like a double news, because now we know that he is attached to Fantastic Four, as well as he is not doing Star Trek.
No way. He said pass.
He said, welcome back to Gas or Pass. Making this fucking dope-ass Star Trek movie?
Pass.
Getting paid several $1 million to direct Fantastic Four? Das.
Yes. Yes, like that's diesel.
Yeah, that's straight up fucking petroleum, baby.
Like,
it's petrol, as they say in places that's not the United States.
Like it's Vin, you know? Like
straight up Vinny Diesel right there. Call it Vincenzo. All right. Warner Brothers may have found their Kevin Feige in producer Dan Lin. Okay, so reportedly, Dan Lin is in early talks with David Zaslav at Warner Brothers Discovery to become the head of DC's film and TV division. Dan has produced several large successful projects that include the Lego series of films.
Hold the phone.
I can.
You said the Lego series?
Double. I can hear you from across the hall. Is your door shut?
Yeah.
God damn, son, you're getting through 2 doors and a hallway.
Oh, fuck.
You're getting 2 turnover the Lego movie.
Dude, that was my shit.
That's a banger. Everything's awesome, you know?
Dude,
But hold on. Wait. It's like, but wait, there's more. He also directed both It horror movies.
Oh! just get absolutely dumb.
And then the live action Aladdin film that grossed over $1 billion for Disney.
I didn't see Aladdin.
It actually wasn't bad. I preferred it to like The Beauty and the Beast.
Okay.
But all in all, yeah, I mean he's been behind some pretty large successful franchises, so I think wouldn't be a bad call, you know, that he obviously knows, because like a producer's role is, I mean, at the end of the day, Kevin Feige is the executive producer of the Marvel series or Marvel films, you know, and so I help manage the money and I procure the props and you know, basically I'm in charge of a lot of the decision making. The director's there to make the vision happen, right? But the producer is the decision maker. So I think having somebody who's pretty gifted and skilled at being a producer on large scale projects like a Lego series or It, you know, because both of the It movies were, you know, like $100 million horror movies, which is unheard of. And then obviously Aladdin grossed over $1 billion for Disney.
I thought the second one was all right.
Yeah.
Yeah. The first one was really, really good.
Yeah.
The second one, I thought it was all right.
You done?
Yeah.
Oh, okay. Just, you're like, yeah, I guess so, man. Fuck.
Just
no, but
heart.
Yeah, I'm just talking from the heart. Yeah. I'm like, well, no, just every film or project that I mention, you just have to give us your 2-sentence review.
Mm-hmm. What do you mean? The creation of Gas or Pass is literally from me.
Right. Well, so then, right. So then, just put in your 2 cents that way. Just hit me with a Gas or Pass. Interrupt me with Gas or Pass.
Okay.
I want to hear you from across the hall go, oh shit! Gas or Pass? Aladdin. Pass. Gas. I don't know. Some sources are saying that it's like honestly just like whispers or rumors that Dan Lin's going to be doing this, while others are saying that it's all the way into like wages and benefits being actively negotiated. So it's kind of. Did you say gas?
Yeah.
So if Lin were to take on this role, he would reportedly, obviously, be answering directly to David Zaslav, who runs Warner Brothers Discovery now, which would effectively make DC its own branch of the company without having to go through several people within Warner Brothers. Because as it stands now, DC is like, well, I've got to talk to Warner Brothers and all that, and then Warner Brothers talks to Warner Brothers Discovery and all that, right? Whereas now it's just straight up David Zaslav would talk to Dan Lin, or vice versa, kind of like Kevin Feige has going on over at Disney with whoever replaced Bob Iger. Can't think of the guy's fucking name. It's another Bob. But yeah, so that's kind of dope. That, I mean, if they do have somebody, at least it feels like, okay, maybe they're here in the future gonna start hitting the ground running.
Right. Really make some traction.
Yeah. So, speaking of DC and all that, so Ezra Miller and their agent, Scott Metzger, had a meeting with Warner Brothers execs this past week to discuss ways they can keep The Flash on track for its June 23rd release date, as well as to kind of reinforce their commitment to the project going forward. Sources close to the actors said that none of the negative headlines about them were bothering them or encouraging them to seek help, honestly. Because it's been, like 2 years, basically, of crazy shit coming out about them.
Yeah.
But it was actually the fact that hearing how seriously in danger the project was of being canceled that motivated positive, constructive action for Miller. Apparently, people were close to him, close to Miller, were saying that the character of Barry Allen means more to them than like anything, and the thought of losing that because of their behavior was enough to push them into seeking the help they need. It was like that was the wake up call. Not charged to be impressed, nothing like that. It was the fact that Warner Bros. Was finally reaching a spot of like, we may just have to fucking scrap this thing.
Yeah.
And Miller's
I mean, that's not a bad like eye opener, I guess.
Right. Yeah. I mean, at least there was that moment for them.
Right.
Yeah, because sometimes there just isn't. I meant to write more down here. Let me see if I can pull that back up here. Because there was quite a bit that I was like, oh shit, word? And I guess I closed the tab before I meant to. Let's see. Okay. Alright, come on. Bingo. We're in it.
We're in it.
This is it right here, kids. It's game time. All right, so how was that phrased here? Basically, after months of upsetting headlines about Miller, blah blah blah. This one's from the Hollywood Reporter, by the way. Yeah, apparently they said here it has been receiving some of the highest scores at test screenings since Christopher Nolan's Dark Knight movies, and executives and creatives believe they have a critical and box office hit on their hands that will live up to those scores. So yeah, I'm like, oh fuck, like I hope it's that fucking good. And the fact that now that they're able to get Miller in and hopefully get everything straightened around and let's push this thing forward in a positive direction. And honestly, apparently that seems to be the general mood around the place. It's like, this is the most hopeful any of them have felt about the project in a long time, which makes sense. But yeah, that's kind of good. That's cool that they're there. But also, both the Aquaman sequel and the Shazam sequel have been delayed. Again, actually. This is one of the first news stories we talked about 6 months ago, 26 episodes ago, was that Aquaman and Shazam had been shuffled.
Yeah.
Well, here they are again. And so Aquaman and the Lost Kingdom had a massive delay from March 27th of 2023 all the way to December 25th of 2023.
Holy
That's 8 fucking months. And Shazam Fury of the Gods moved from December of this year to Aquaman's old date of March 27th. So that's a big fucking shuffle. Now, I know that there was some headlines going around that Warner Brothers Discovery might only have enough money right now with the way everything's been shuffling out to release like 2 more movies this year. And so that may be part of that is they're like, yeah, we're going to go ahead and just release Black Adam because we're so close, right? And push these 2 guys out and then see how we end up, by the end of the year. But also the article that I got this from was talking about how it came as a move for them of like, how can we spread out the marketing costs of these big tentpole projects and not have to do it all up front like this? Which makes sense because you figure they're still basically settling into the acquisition and all that, actively trying to find somebody to run DC and to then be like, here's several $100 million in marketing for this project, and then another several $100 million for this project, and then this project behind it. And they're like, yeah, we gotta that's a lot of money to be dumping and not really know if we're gonna get it back.
Yeah.
And so they're like, let's just push everything back so we can get a clearer picture of this. And I hope for them now that they can see, okay, this feels hopeful for the Flash. Maybe that'll help bring in some goodwill and some money for them to play with.
Dang. Pulling that back that far, though, for Aquaman.
I know. That's intense.
That's nuts.
That's like camping. Intense.
Shut up.
Shut the fuck up, okay? Do you have any thoughts or questions or answers, comments, concerns about DC?
I'm glad Ezra's getting help and everything like that. That's good to hear, especially for that reason. Like I said, I don't think it's a bad eye opener. Because it would really suck if he came back and was like, I'm only doing this so I don't lose my job.
Right.
But he came back and he was like, but the idea of them, like, how meaningful it was to people, that kind of sucks. So I wanted to seek help.
Yeah, exactly. They were like, we gotta do something here. So Netflix's BioShock adaptation has a director in Francis Lawrence. So Lawrence is most notably the director of all but the first of the Hunger Games films, including the prequel of Songbirds and Snakes. Sorry, my dog, my little helper's in here scratching. I don't know if you can hear the collar.
Yeah.
So that's their biggest project that I noticed from Francis Lawrence. But then Michael Green, who has writing credits on Logan, Blade Runner 2049, and Death on the Nile, is set to adapt the screenplay. So that's a pretty fucking...
That's solid.
Like, the Hunger Games movies were... I mean, they weren't poorly directed, I thought.
No, I liked them.
The action was pretty good in them. And then just especially some of those in the last... what is it? Not Mockingjay Part 2, but Part 1, where you see some of, like, the rebel fighting and all that. Mm-hmm. There's some good shit in there, and I could see some of, like, the stuff inside the Capitol, where it's kind of, okay, how do we make this seem like a futuristic, culturally different world and all that? That kind of fits in with BioShock a little bit.
Can I tell you a secret?
Yeah, tell me a secret right now.
I've never finished Mockingjay Part 2. Like, I've never seen it. I with Harry Potter, I know, even though I haven't seen the last one, I knew how it ended. But with Hunger Games, I still don't know. It's never been spoiled for me. I have no clue what happens to Katniss.
Why do you do that?
I don't know. Like, it's just I remember I watched part one. I was like, oh man, that's really good, and then I just poof,
Just
gone.
didn't.
It was like off my radar. Like I never heard about it again until like 2 years later, and I was like, oh yeah, I gotta go see that. And then here we are, a
Right
couple more
on.
years later.
Well, want me to spoil it for you?
No,
All right. Well, then we'll have to watch it. Maybe
Alright.
that's what we'll do next week.
It's
A very,
movie,
very
movie.
hot or lukewarm take on Mockingjay Part 2.
It's just a list of all the movies that I never finished.
Yeah, and we just burn through them. You don't even watch them, I just spoil them for you. It's just me trying to describe to you what happens in these movies that maybe I haven't seen in 3, 4, or 5 years. I'm going, and then I think such and oh no, wait, hold on, I gotta back up. That actually happens for, and you're like, okay, that sounds painful to listen to and to perform,
Yeah.
so we're not going to do that. But no, I hope that this doesn't really talking about Bioshock. I hope that it doesn't really stray from the source material too much because Bioshock's a fucking banger of a game. We kind of talked about it last week, Morgan and I. It's one of my favorites, and so I'm not like. Again, I'm not going to lose sleep over it. I'm not worried, like, wringing my hands, but I'm concerned insofar as I want to go to. That'd be really good to get a good movie out of it.
Yeah.
And so I don't want to get my hopes up on it. But, like, you've got both ends of the spectrum for Netflix adaptations as far as video game adaptations, where fucking the Resident Evil series was so bad that it got canceled after one season. And then, you've got The Witcher, which is a banger for them.
Yeah.
And so I'm hoping that we lean, and it's going to be a movie, not a series. So I don't know if that's good, bad, or indifferent. I think a movie makes sense. I don't want to see him string it out, but I don't know. I just, I don't know. Okay? Get off me.
Movies make me so nervous, though, because they try to cram so much in there.
Yeah. I'll just go the fucking, the Irishman route and just make it 9 hours.
Yeah.
Cram it all in there and make it too long. Or do like a series of films.
Yeah, you could do that.
That'd be cool. That'd be dope.
Dope.
Dope. Last bit here. I talked about HBO's House of the Dragon up top there. It was the largest debut for HBO with over 10 million viewers. And the premiere episode has been met with mostly positive feedback from fans and critics. And it was so successful for HBO that it's already received the green light on the second season before its second episode has even aired.
Jesus Christ.
So, yeah, it's performing bigly. And I think that's, I mean, whatever, man. I enjoyed it. Like I said, I'm a little biased because I really disliked the ending for Game of Thrones, but also with this being so disconnected, I'm trying not to let that cloud my judgment. You know what I mean? But also, with it being a prequel 200 years prior or whatever, it's still in my head of like, yeah, but I know what fucking happens. You know what I mean? Like, wherever any of this leads, I know what it leads to. And it's fucking Bran the Broken being on the goddamn Iron Throne. Horse shit.
Maybe I will have to watch it.
You should watch both. Because, like, even though Game of Thrones has a pretty faceplant of a finale, the first 5 seasons are fucking phenomenal.
How many episodes and how long are the episodes?
Episodes are roughly an hour. I want to say each season is like between 8 and 10 episodes, and there's 8 seasons altogether, but the last 2 are like 6 episodes, but they're a little bit longer.
Maybe I'll burn through them.
Yeah, it's pretty good. Like I said, aside from the absolute belly flop that is season 8, it's pretty good. Like, I don't think I'm not breaking any new ground to say that Game of Thrones was a really good show. It obviously was a critical and commercial success. So I'm not like opening your eyes to some, let me put you on to something here. You know what I mean?
Right.
But it is. I mean, it's a really good show. I was very late to it. I only watched it to catch up with my wife so I could watch the finale episode. And I literally did. I watched the finale episode, was the only episode that I got to watch as it aired.
Oh, really?
Mm-hmm.
Oh, what a letdown.
Well, so yeah, and so then I got like a really clear picture of like how stark contrast. That's a little pun for the fans there. The differences between like the good seasons and the finale seasons is because like I watched the whole show in like 2 to 3 weeks, and so it was like fuck, dude, I was like burning through this thing, and then it just all of a sudden it was like driving into water. I was like, oh man, we really slowed down here. What's going on? This isn't good anymore. And then I just powered through and got to the finale and was like, look, dude, like I didn't want to, I'm riding the wave of like the excitement and the anticipation and all that, where I'm like, I'm looking over at my wife and I'm like, because she's a big mega fan, and so I'm like kind of looking over at her and I'm like, what did you think? Because I have a weird feeling in my gut of like, I don't think that was very satisfying at all. Like I didn't like that, but I don't. Maybe I'm wrong. You know what I mean? And so I'm looking over at her and I'm like, what did you think, babe? And she kind of like shrugged her shoulders and was like, I don't know, man. And then I gave it a day or two. I went to bed because it was kind of late when it finished, and then I woke up the next day and all that was on my fucking Facebook and Reddit and Twitter was like, Game of Thrones is dog dicks. And I'm like, okay, good. It wasn't just me. But all that to
Yeah,
say that actually, yeah, like I enjoyed the first episode of House of Dragon.
all right. Well, all right. I'll give it a poke. I'll give both of them a poke.
Yeah, but first we got to
Add
finish
them to
our
the
show. So I got to
fucking
watch.
list.
I was gonna say add it to the list. I got to watch
Fucking enough to
both
catch
The
up.
Boys and Better Call Saul, and you've got to finish Better Call Saul.
Oh, I finished The Boys.
Yeah, you did.
Oh, we gotta touch base on this because
Yeah, let's do that and watch it. Let's do that and what you're thinking about.
Yeah.
You want me to write it down?
Yeah. Don't let me forget.
All right. And then also, while we're talking about that, I meant to bring it up in the news, but it kind of slipped my mind. Jeffrey Dean Morgan got cast for season 4 in The Boys.
Yeah. Oh,
Don't know who or why or how, but yeah, he is in season 4 as a character. So, All right, you want to talk about Gamescom 2022, baby?
Oh yeah.
Oh fuck yeah, you do. All right, so let's see. I've got a list pulled up of like all the big bangers because I'm like there might be some that if I were to just try and write off a memory, I'd forget. So let's see here. Let's start up here. Hogwarts Legacy had a trailer that my wife creamed her jeans for, and it was about basically like what happens when you practice the dark arts.
Is that the one? I thought there was already a trailer out for that, or is this a completely new game?
Well, so we've had a few trailers for Hogwarts Legacy. We've had like the first trailer, and then like a very extended like gameplay trailer.
Yeah.
And then this one came out at Gamescom.
It looks good.
Yeah, it does. Let's see. The ones that jumped out at me, I didn't watch every single trailer and every single thing, but the ones that kind of piqued my interest, the Outlast trials. Do you want to start with that?
Oh yeah, that looks so fucking good.
Yeah. So I'm excited about the Outlast trials because I enjoy both of the Outlast games as horror games, obviously. But the idea of how do you transition that into a co-op experience kind of piques my interest. Let me pull up the description for the Outlast trials here for you. The Outlast Trials is an upcoming first-person psychological horror survival video game developed by blah 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 blah. The third installment, serving as a prequel. It's during the Cold War experiments. Let's see here. Come on, Wikipedia, do me better than that. Come on, you got it. I was almost certain it was co-op, isn't it? Single player or multiplayer.
Yeah.
But let's see. Apparently there's an Outlast 3 in development as well. Like, this isn't the Outlast 3.
Yeah, because because technically this would be Outlast 4, because there's Outlast Whistleblower.
Well, so Whistleblower is just an expansion to the first one.
Oh, I thought it was one of those like half games.
No, it's kind of like a. I mean, I think technically it is, but yeah, it's more like an add-on to the first one than anything.
Okay.
I think it was originally DLC, and then it got released as like a standalone thing in some of the packages and such.
Okay.
So I don't know that there's actually that much info as far as a release date, other than I know that we got in this trailer that they showed us. We got a beta starting around Halloween.
Yeah.
Which I want to figure out how we sign up for that, because I want to be in on that. And then just picture it with me. You, me, Morgan, and my father.
Shredding it. That would be a nightmare.
That'd be a nightmare. My dad being there? Come on. No, I I do wonder if they'd add any. It seemed like maybe there was minor combat because typically Outlast is about like just running and hiding. There's no combat
Mhm.
involved. But it seemed like maybe they were setting traps and stuff that were going off, like an electrical bomb went off
Yeah.
at one point in the trailer. And so I'm wondering if there's some sort of like defensive attacks that you can perform where you're not killing them, you're just slowing them.
Right.
And I wonder how involved you and I had floated the idea when we watched it of maybe it being like, how did we like co-op competitive, where
Yeah, it's like you
maybe
can work
it's
together if it's beneficial for both parties, but like if
not
it's not,
required.
yeah, you're probably not gonna worry about them because you have to worry about you.
hmm Which I would like.
Yeah, I think
Um,
that sounds cool too.
there was. Did you ever play any of the games called Fear?
Mm-mm.
So Fear 3 was a so they were horror games that were kind of horror shooters.
Mm-hmm.
But Fear 3 had that kind of it was a co-op game where actually at the end of each like chapter or section of the game, you and your co-op partner got points and you were trying to get more points than your partner. And so they coined that term of like co-opetition where
Yeah.
yes, you guys have to both get through and you can work together, but like it kind of encouraged some kill stealing and things like that where you're like I want the
Right.
points though, you know,
Yeah.
which is kind of an interesting dynamic.
Yeah,
But
absolutely.
the Callisto Protocol, we got another bit of gameplay from that. Do you remember that one?
Yeah. Yeah, that one
The
looks
the
really
like
good.
Dead Space
Mm-hmm.
spiritual sequel kind
Mm-hmm.
of thing with fucking Josh Duhamel. Yeah, the gore looks brutal in it.
Yeah.
Um, it does look very, um, like very Dead Space, and I don't know if that's good or bad. I mean, Dead Space is really good, so that's not negative, but I'm almost like, is this just basically a Dead Space reskin? You know what I mean? With us
Yeah.
also getting a Dead Space remake, I'm like, well, okay. Are we just going to have two of the same game?
Right.
I'd be more happy with them taking the Dead Space idea and expanding on it, which maybe this is, but yeah, just the combat and stuff that I've seen, even down to like shooting at the monster in the head in this most recent one. The
Mm-hmm.
head explodes and then regrows, and the monster actually gets stronger. Whereas in Dead Space, the whole thing was dismemberment was the way to kill them, as
Okay.
opposed to headshots and body shots. And so I don't know.
Right.
Even down to the gameplay of the combat looked pretty Dead Space similar. So I don't know how I feel about that. Let's see. Dune Awakening.
Oh. Oh. Yes.
Yeah. You want to talk about
Like,
that one?
yeah, just like when I first saw it, I was like the graphics on, like I was like, oh, this is a movie. Because
Right.
when I
Yeah.
first saw it, a buddy showed me at work, and he didn't say nothing. He goes, "Hey, watch this," and it started, and it opens up with just the trailer. I was like, "Oh," and then I was like, "Oh no, it's a game," and then like it just kept blowing my mind. Like, so I was like,
Yeah.
"Okay,
Now
desert."
keep
And I
in
was like,
mind, I mean, that's just that's not gameplay, obviously.
"No, it's a cinematic," but still,
Yeah, but still, yeah. I mean, that's where we're at, though. Where they
yeah, I
at,
don't
though?
imagine the cinematic's gonna be that good, and then just have like 8-bit graphics.
Oh, I don't know, man. That's how some of these MMOs do you.
Really?
Oh yeah.
Like what?
Like Diablo and some of those will have like just incredible, or like the not nearly as like 8-bit like you're talking, but like the Elder Scrolls Online will have like super incredible CG trailers, and then it's like still running on the fucking Skyrim engine. You know what I mean?
I don't play like Diablo or anything like that. But I know
But yeah, it's
that
gonna be a
style.
survival MMO.
Yeah, that I'm excited for that. I think that's cool. Like a Fallout
Yeah,
76.
yeah. Well, hopefully not like Fallout 76.
It's getting better.
It is, but it's also been out for like 4 years.
That's true.
You know what I mean? So it's like, well, on the one hand, it is getting better, but on the other hand, it's taken them this long. And you still have to buy the expansions that make it better. Whereas then you look at like No Man's Sky, where every update's been free, and it's a banger.
Yeah.
I like that you determined that No Man's Sky is just you're not smart enough to play it.
Yeah, man. Like it's just it's a smart person's game, and that's just it's not me, and that really bums me out because like I love playing it, but I get kind of bored quickly because it's like, all right, I'll figure out how to put fuel in my tank, and then I'll
And
start
that's a task.
flying. Yeah, and like I'm just like I don't know how to, or like if I need to get more health, like and you got to make health like I can't. All I know is I can sell stuff for a lot of units, and I'll just
Right.
try to buy cool ships.
Yeah, yeah.
Like that's all I can really do.
Yeah,
And
you
as
just
much
hang out in
fun
a
as that
space
is,
station and hope for a cool ship to fly in so you
yeah,
can
and
buy it.
I practice all the alien languages so I can understand everybody, hoping
Yeah,
that they can show me the way.
yeah. Teach me.
Yeah,
But
I think
yeah,
I'm
we
a little too
really.
dumb for that game.
I don't think you're dumb. Don't say that. You was kind. You was smart. You was important. No, so Dune Awakening, yeah, like we said, it was pretty. It was a pretty beautiful trailer, but didn't really give us any indication of how like gameplay would work or anything like that.
I
But
imagine that's
I
probably
mean,
not going to be out for a while.
yeah, I would think so. I don't know that it even gave us a
I don't think it did.
no, but a release. Yeah, so a release date hasn't been announced yet, but you can sign up for a beta already.
Which yeah, I would again. We gotta figure out how the fuck we to do that.
Yeah, and that one's coming to Xbox, PS5, and Steam. Oh, I better mention that on the others. Let's see, Callisto Protocol coming to I think everything, and then Hogwarts Legacy is also coming to PlayStation, which it's been in a little bit of hot. There's been like people going, damn, more PlayStation exclusive stuff. Apparently, there's a quest in Hogwarts Legacy that you can only play on PlayStation,
Damn.
which like that kind of blows for the people that don't have a PlayStation and don't want to have to buy a PlayStation, especially with it coming to several platforms.
I mean, it just goes to show PlayStation's better than Xbox. I mean, I'm just out here saying, like
I don't know what to tell you. Oh yeah, did you ever play Tales from the Borderlands? It was one of the Telltale games.
no. I've played Borderlands 1 and then which was really good. And then the not the second one, but the one after that I played and it was
The
dog
pre-sequel.
ass. All I know is it was dog ass.
Yeah,
And
the
I just
pre-sequel was not good.
I stopped playing it after that.
Yeah, but apparently, yeah, the Telltale Games team came out and were like, "Hey, yeah, we're making we're making a sequel to Tales from the Borderlands." And I never got to play Tales from the Borderlands, but I remember like when it came out, I was watching a lot of like other like YouTubers play it and shit,
Sure.
and I enjoyed watching it. I think maybe Jacksepticeye did it or something like that. Not a sponsor.
Not a sponsor.
But it was really fun to watch and had a good story and all that. So I'm like, oh shit. Maybe I need to play the first one myself, and then when this comes out, I can play that. Apparently, Sonic Frontiers. I didn't watch it because I have no interest in it. I saw the first footage from. Oh god, I don't remember when they announced it, and it wasn't very good looking. It looked like very early like test footage, and they're like, "Yeah, this game's almost done. Like this is coming out this year." And I'm like, "Oh, word." It doesn't look like it. But apparently, whatever footage they showed for this, like this list or article that I'm using for the list of games announced, straight up says this game still looks like complete doo doo. So that's not good. When a fucking like an article is just it's doo doo and like rough. But if you are excited for the game, it's coming out November 8th. So that's not a good sign either. The fact that they're like, yeah, no, it's coming out this year. And everybody's like, it is not done. It is not ready. That bitch had better bake about another 45 minutes. We got a cool world premiere trailer for a Bloodborne style, like Souls-like game based on Pinocchio called Lies of P. Did you see that?
No.
Yeah. You want me to send that shit to you?
Yeah.
What we'll do is we'll get quiet while we watch it. That way the editing will just take out the... You know what I'm saying?
Oh, I know exactly what you're saying.
So, yeah.
That looks really good.
Right? Like, it sounds goofy.
But it makes me think of... have you ever heard the game Fable?
Yeah. Yeah, for sure. I can see that.
Kind of a little bit like that, maybe, but a little more steampunky.
Yeah.
But I mean... that looks really fucking cool.
That looks
really fucking cool.
The combat is like, oh fuck.
Yeah, like there's that scene with that big machines charging you, and you got your arm, and it's like getting all electric, and then you blast them.
Yeah, and seeing just the classic Soulsborne, like the parry mechanic, of seeing them like perfect block and then counter,
Mhm.
and you're like, oh my god. And then I'll never be able to do it, you know? But it's like, fuck, it looks cool to see it though, man.
You're gonna accidentally do it one day, and you're just,
Just start
you start
freaking
levitating.
out. Yeah, just womble, womble, womble. But yeah, so that's coming out in 2023. They didn't have like a specific date other than just, the 2023. And apparently it's going to be on Xbox Game Pass day one. So good for them.
Mm-hmm.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space. Do you know what that is?
You're knocking on a door that I have kept locked, and I swear to God, I don't.
Do you
wanna
actually
go in
know
there.
Killer Clowns from Outer Space?
Killer Clowns from Outer Space terrified me because I saw it way too young. I saw it at like
dude.
ripe age of 5.
Yeah.
That
So
fucked me up so hard, bro.
it's the reason my sister's in the same boat as you. It's the reason my sister has chlorophobia. She's afraid of clowns because of Killer Clowns from Outer Space.
Yeah, that shit terrified me.
So apparently it's gonna be like they're making a game of it, and it's
Just fucking, I'm crying. I'm just no, because it's gonna be everywhere.
And it's an asymmetrical horror game where 3 people play as the 3 clowns, and then I think I think it was 7. So there's a total of 10 people altogether. 7 other people are trying to like either kill the clowns or escape them, whatever it is. But it's kind of like a Dead by Daylight or the Friday the 13th and all that.
Right.
But when I saw, I was like, what? Like that came out of nowhere for me. The Killer Clowns from Outer Space, and I'm like, you know what? I'd play it. Like,
I don't know, man.
And guess what? We can sign up for the beta here. It says.
I guess
We
we'll
can
be
get in there early.
for the beta. Yep.
Sure. Come to
shit.
Xbox,
There it is.
PS4,
I'm
PS5,
looking.
and Steam. Yeah, right. Yeah. Did you pull it up?
Yeah, you're right. Let me watch it. Gotta go
I'll watch it with you.
Here, we send the link.
Yeah.
I don't know, man. They just
And it's actually from the people of Friday the 13th.
It just looks way too much like the movie, like the clowns do.
Yeah. Are you afraid
Like,
you won't be able to do it?
I might shit my pants or something, man.
Well,
I'll give it a whack. All right, yeah, I'll give it a whack, but I'm a little nervous.
Not gonna lie to you.
That would be my big fat ass.
That would be my big fat ass. Mm-hmm. We got 2 fucking trailers for Dead Island 2.
Mm-hmm.
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 That would be my big fat ass.
That would be my big fat ass. Mm-hmm.
So did you get to see both trailers? The gameplay and then the cinematic?
I believe so. I know I saw the cinematic.
You want me to try and find you the
Yeah, why don't you?
gameplay?
Yeah, Jamie, pull that up.
Yeah, let me get you here.
That would be my big fat ass.
That would be my big fat ass. Let's see here. I like this has just evolved into us just looking up videos and watching them.
And then we're gonna be clipping them.
Yeah. Clip it! Clip it!
Clip it! Alright. Oh. Come on.
Just click follow and watch on YouTube.
Yeah, it's loading enough. Holy shit.
What?
It's not letting me. It's telling me to sign in. It won't let me sign in. Let me just pull it up on my phone. No, I can't because then
I'll just mute your mic.
Okay. I'm now starting it. That looks really good too. The gameplay itself.
Yeah, like it's brutal but funny. There's definitely the tongue-in-cheek slant to it.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, at one point, just straight punches through the face of the zombie.
Well, yeah, and that zombie rips that guy's head off, and he, half of his head is
the cigarette,
and he goes to put the cigarette up and falls over.
Yeah, it looks really good. I played the first Dead Island.
Yeah.
And I remember when the Dead Island 2 trailer first came out, like years ago at this point. And so it's just kind of really exciting to see that. Oh my god, it's got a release of February 3rd, I think it says.
That's not too far.
No, that's like 5 months away. and so I'm fucking cool with that, you know. And you and I need to fucking play Dead Island 1 and Riptide together, since we played Dying Light. We also need to play Dying Light 2, which is apparently really good. And they showed off a trailer for like an expansion for that, I think.
Okay.
That I didn't watch because I'm like, well, I haven't played the base game. Let's see.
Heard
Then there were
mixed
some
things.
games.
I've heard it was really good, and I've also heard it was really mid.
Did my fart come through?
No.
Okay, good. There was a section at Gamescom called. Sorry, did you have anything more about Dying Light? Dead Island?
Oh, for Dying Light, I said I heard the second one. I've heard it was good, but I've also heard it was really, really bad.
See, I remember when that first came out that you said that to me, and I never heard any of the negative stuff. Was that like online that you were reading that, or people that you know?
Online. Like, just saying it was mid. Like, it wasn't, it was alright.
Yeah, no, I never got any of that. I got a lot of like, yeah, this is good shit. So I think maybe we should play it and find out for ourselves, because we really enjoyed Dying Light.
It was really good.
But no, so there is a segment called the Future Games Show at Gamescom, where they were looking forward, obviously, at some of the upcoming games through this year and next year. Hold on. Excuse you. There was a game called War Trauma that they showed some gameplay for that apparently also has a demo available on Steam, so we may have to play that.
Yeah.
And I don't really know how to describe it other than like they've referenced, as well as other people have referenced, PT, where it's the idea of walking through familiar, like, and in this way they describe it as an endless maze of trenches. And to me, it looked World War I-ish, but apparently it takes place during the events of World War II. And he's being pursued by an unknown monster, the protagonist. And he's trying to solve puzzles and all different kinds of terrors and stuff to try and to get through whatever he's getting through. But I mean, I like the psychological horror games a lot.
I mean, just
especially when it feels like there's something to tell you.
Yeah, especially like just the fact that it's like in the trenches at night.
Yeah, no,
yeah, it's like raining and shit like that. Like, you don't know what's out there, and
no.
Oh yeah, I'm excited for that game.
Oh yeah.
Oh yeah. Hey Peter.
Hey Peter. And then let's see, SCP Secret Files. Like, dude.
Yep.
I tried to put you onto SCPs earlier this year, and you kind of like half bit on it. But
it's just a lot, and I feel like I would flop trying to explain it.
Well, you'll never know if you don't try, you know?
All right, well, maybe I will. Welcome back!
Just fucking cut in with Cryptid Corner. But no, so if people don't know what SCPs are, Chris is right. There is a lot to it. We would have to fully explain that to you. But they're pretty popular anymore. But I mean, so you can look it up. SCP, it's literally just the initials. But yeah, this game looked like it had all kinds of different styles of gameplay mixed in, where like at times it was like kind of a painted first person, like along dark, and then other times it was very like clear first person, you know, like a realistic take, and then other times it was fully 8-bit with, you know, Game Boy style text popping up. And it looked like it's very mind-bending. And I liked the...
Oh, good.
I really enjoy a good, like, almost like bureaucracy in a game. Similar to, like, did you ever play Papers, Please?
Nuh-uh.
Yeah, we got to play that one. That's one of my favorite indie games. But just the idea of, like, you know, here's all the corporate bullshit that I'm going to feed you about, you know, the SCP and why we do what we do, and right. And I think there could definitely be some promise there. And then the nice thing to find out about was that it comes out September 13th, which is in like 2 weeks.
Yeah.
And apparently that's just on PC, but then it's coming to consoles in 2023. They didn't give a date for the 2023, just that it's next year.
Fucking get wrecked.
Fucking PC Master Race.
That's whoa.
That's a Reddit thing. Don't make it more than it is.
I've never heard of that.
You've never heard PC Master Race? Oh yeah.
No.
it's like making fun of it's PC players making fun of themselves for that behavior of like we are the master race because we play PC.
Okay.
Where it's like, oh, what's your rig like? And they're like, oh, I just got a PS4, and you're like, plebe, like they're automatically beneath you. Let's see. Yeah, PC Master Race. And then apparently I didn't get to watch the trailer for it, but apparently there was a game called Snackoon, like raccoon, but snack, right? And the way it was described was Stray, but with a cheeky raccoon.
Mm-hmm.
It's described as a stealth exploration game, but it looks like you can cause all kinds of chaos as you're scurrying around, digging through trash, looking for a meal. Mm-hmm. And I'm down with that. I really enjoyed Stray. When I finished it, I was sad that it was over. You never got to finish it, did you?
No, I still got to go through and burn it.
You're a busy boy, I'll tell you.
I am.
You're like, yeah, you're telling me.
Yeah, I'm fucking living it.
Let's see. Was there anything that you wanted to talk about from any of those games that we didn't touch on?
I felt like we touched on all of them. Let me see. I have it pulled up here if there's any other games might have missed. No? Yeah. Hello?
Oh, yeah. Sorry, I was reading about one here. Sorry, bub. Moonbreaker was one that I wanted to kind of not talk about like at length because I haven't seen too much about it other than just like the elevator pitch sounds cool to me. So it's Hearthstone meets XCOM. Do you know what either of those games are?
No.
So Hearthstone is like a colony builder of like where you're playing as the individual colonists of like, okay, this guy, I've got these 6 people and they're going to have to do these jobs for me. And you can have them dig and build and whatever, right?
Sure.
To build up your colony. And then do you know what XCOM is?
Mm-mm.
So that's like a turn-based strategy game where you're basically the Men in Black fighting an alien invasion.
Oh, okay.
And it's made by this game, Moonbreaker, it's a combination of those two, and it's actually being made by the developer of Subnautica.
Oh, okay, yeah.
And Subnautica is a really solid survival game.
Yeah, that's a really good game.
And so I'm like, oh, well, shit. I like all 3 of the things that were just mentioned to me, you know what I mean?
Yeah.
And so that's one that I'm kind of excited to keep an eye on. And apparently we get to play it in early access on September 29th. So that's also pretty soon. That's a month away. Yeah, so that's the nice thing about most of the games that we saw here. We get to play sooner rather than later. Whether it be through beta or otherwise.
Right, just the full game.
Yeah. So I'm jazzed, baby.
No, I'm really excited.
Yeah. Are you excited, though?
You have no fucking clue how excited I am.
Oh, shit. Fuck. I closed the wrong tab. I closed my fucking notes.
You fucking... Jesus.
You mooly. There it is. Okay. I was freaking out. I'm like, oh no, I've never done it before. What do I do now? Like, I don't fucking know what comes next.
You're just so pretty.
You're just so pretty. What you thinking about, baby?
Welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner. I'm your host, Chris. Yeah, y'all know you missed it. You're earning for it.
They had it last week.
You're thinking about it.
They had it last week.
It just ain't like mine. With my
like
cryptids,
I
get
attempt at you though.
It's cute.
Welcome back to Chris's Cryptid Corner.
Nah, so this one, I stumbled. So, it is called Organism 46-B.
Are we allowed to say that word on here?
Yeah, we are.
All right, cool.
So the creature Organism 46-B was an aquatic beast allegedly captured by the Russian scientific team near the research outpost in Vostok Station.
Okay.
So this thing is like 33 feet long.
Okay.
It's like a fucking school bus.
I was gonna say it's a goddamn Mack truck.
Yeah, dude. It's a long, 14-tentacled squid-like creature which lived in Lake Vostok, a subglacial lake located under 2 miles of ice beneath the station in Antarctica. So this thing was like, in this ice way down. Let's see here. The animal could release a toxin into the water that immobilizes its prey from a distance up to 150 feet, displaying an astonishing degree of shape-shifting with its limbs. And they were able to animate and still be aggressive even after amputation, and it showed its considerable degree of both hostility and intelligence. So this thing is fucking wiggling its arms, whumpum, 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 like figuring
After they've been
shit
chopped
out.
off.
Yeah, spitting nasty venom at you.
Right,
Killing
spitting
you.
Venom.
Let's see, I have an encounter here pulled up, and this is really the only. This one's at the most detailed I found of them.
Yeah. Yeah, I mean, I don't know how you're coming out of this.
What do you mean?
Like, how do you encounter this thing and then
Right,
like,
yeah.
get away?
So the Vostok station, established by the Soviets in 1957, was discovered to have been sited atop of a vast body of liquid of water beneath the ice in 1974. After the station... Wait, I missed a line.
Jesus Christ.
After 30 years of ice core drilling, the research team finally breached through to the lake on February 5th of 2012. This is the only encounter must have occurred sometime between the 30th November 2016, when the story first broke, the original encounter.
Okay. So this happened in 2012 or 2016?
So they broke the ice in 2012, and then they discovered it in 2016.
Okay.
So let's see. Sorry, I need to grab my glasses. I can't see.
Yeah, you should just always have them on, really, at this point.
What are you gonna do? There we go. So, Dr. Anton claims to have been part of the first scientific expedition to explore the lake. We encountered organism 46B on our first day. It disabled our radio, which we later learned, to our alarm, that it was intentional. It was also able to paralyze its prey from a distance up to 150 feet by releasing its venom into the water. Tragically, my colleague and lifelong friend was killed this way. We were unable to recover the body. Later, while driving in the lake, the group were attacked. The creature releasing its venom into the water, which took a hold of one of them and killing them and eating them. As Dr. Anton Patica stated, he tread water wearing a blissful smile as the organism approached him. We watched helplessly as it used its arms to tear off its head, then popped its remains in its mouth. It was as if it had hypnotized him telepathically.
Jesus.
I mean, and what blows my mind is like, octopi are so smart.
Right.
So it's like, it makes me think of like Arrival almost.
Yeah, the septopods.
Alright, yeah, I mean, and so this thing's frozen. Now, telepathy, it's a little far stretch for me, but the venom is still, and like, octopi are very, very smart. Let's see here. And then, still later, Organism 46B stalked the group, displaying its shape-shifting ability, and it was able to give itself the form of like a human diver with its tentacles. Just cock and ball torture, that's all it is.
That's whoa. I just said a cock and ball. And you're just like straight up torture him. Like
no, but this thing was able to like take its tentacles and like form it to look like a human swimming in the distance, right? And when you see just like that movement, you're like, oh, a shark's shark's not swimming like a human. A human swims like a human.
And then you get closer and it spits its venom at you, and you're frozen in place, and you start to drown, and then it eats you.
Well, right here it says, we thought it was one of my colleagues swimming towards us in scuba gear. By the time the closest scientists had realized what it had grabbed them and torn them into bits.
Fuck.
It says, escaping the creature, a member of the team managed to lob off one of 46B's tentacles, although later the limb attacked the group again. Later that night, it slid across the ice bank and strangled her.
Jesus
Strangled
Christ.
one of the members even after being, detached. After finally trapping the creature in the tank, the surviving members of the team brought it to the surface, where they claim Russia officials seized the beast and told the international press that nothing had been found.
Yeah, I bet not.
And then the aftermath. So here, and this is where it's like, ooh. Dr. Patica fled the country after allegedly discovering that Russian President Vladimir Putin had plans to weaponize Organism 46B. The Russian government has declined all knowledge of these claims. Any knowledge of these claims. But that shit kind of fucking blows my mind because it's like, oh no, that sounds kind of real. Like that.
I was gonna say that's
that
like
sounds
enough
kinda
detail
real.
that you're like, I think this happened in some way. Like,
I mean, and it is kind of like, sure, there were huge squid, millions of years ago. If one did freeze in Antarctica,
right? Well, and we think that colossal squid still exist.
Yeah, I mean, they do in a way. They're not that big, but
yeah. Well, and we're finding them like in the bellies of sperm whales and shit.
Yeah, but I mean, like 30 feet, like that's not unrealistic.
No, because let's see, the colossal squid. Come on now, is I'm just looking for a measurement. Maximum total length has been estimated between 33 and 46 feet. So, like,
yeah.
It's sometimes called the Antarctic squid or giant cranch squid. So, I mean, it could be one of these guys or, like, a relative of one of these guys, you know what I mean?
Mm-hmm. But it's more intelligent and is able to pop poison out of its suction things or whatever. Or however it does it. But I think that's fucking nuts because... like, it's just such a funny little read, and then it goes, yeah, and then they went out and said that the government took him, and he fled the country. Like, he fled the country.
He was like, I gotta get out of here.
Like, that's...
that makes me think of, and we should talk about this. I would want to take part in the conversation, because it's a story that's always fascinated me, and I'm kind of somewhat passionate about, have you ever heard of the Dyatlov Pass incident?
Maybe?
A bunch of campers and hikers up in the mountains in Russia, and they all died in weirdly mysterious ways, and nobody can figure out what happened to them.
Oh no.
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah,
maybe that's next week's topic.
I was gonna say, yeah, maybe next. You know what? Yeah, let's. And I could tie it back. There was a game I played called Kolot that was based around the Dyatlov Pass incident. So
there fucking go. There we go, baby.
We're in.
I'll have to play that game and finish it by next week.
Not really, because we can just talk about the incident itself. I mean, if you want to play the game, you can.
No, it's fine. I won't bring it up anymore.
Don't even. Like, maybe next week. I don't know. We don't want to spitball too much about what we're going to do. Maybe, because, like, I don't know that it's enough to do a whole episode about, like, a full 90 minutes.
Yeah.
But, maybe we each have something that we bring to the table, a story or two.
Ooh. I like where that's going.
Or do we save that for, like, Halloween and we almost have... tell scary stories.
Oh, yeah! Scary stories! I fucking love that idea.
Yeah, that's it.
Got me kicking my feet back here like a kid.
Let me write that down here. Like, I'm an old man. I actually legitimately write pen and paper notes here. Halloween idea.
We could talk about, like, we'll talk about it off podcast.
Yeah. Halloween idea.
If you have anything you want us to talk about on Halloween, definitely send us an email at simplyonesmailbag@gmail.com.
Or in the weeks leading up, because, like, we really don't have much in the way of movies or shows right now.
There's nothing.
I mean, we could talk about She-Hulk when it finishes.
Yeah.
And then, I mean, I guess we've got Andor starting up here. So.
Oh, I'm very excited. Andor's going to be going on for a while, too.
Yeah, like 12. It's 12 episodes for the first season.
Mm-hmm.
But the first day, like 3 episodes drop.
3 episodes are dropping.
Sorry, I'm writing down Dyatlov Pass. There we go. Okay. But no, I'm sorry. I don't know if I interrupted you. Were you done talking about the organism?
Yeah. Organism 46B. Yeah.
46.
But I mean,
okay.
I just thought it was super interesting because like I said, it doesn't seem too drastically far-fetched. Like, maybe a little bit of the hypnosis with telepathy, but like having venom that makes you go paralyzed. Like, that's a real thing. Like, there are animals that have that.
Yeah.
So, if it is real.
I was thinking, I played circles in my head. So I'll walk you through my thought process. I was thinking, well, something maybe like the cordyceps, as far as like quote unquote mind control, where maybe the poison makes the mind odd and somehow attracts you towards the squid,
Sure.
But then that made me go, oh, like in The Last of Us, man. We got actual footage from The Last of Us.
Oh, yeah, we did.
Didn't even put it in the news. I forgot about it entirely.
Oh, that was all I was saying. So let's touch up on that because it's also The Last of Us. So I'll bob on them forever.
Yeah. So yeah, it was literally only like 15 seconds. But basically, when the House of the Dragon premiered, they played a trailer either before or after it. That's like the future of HBO, and here's all the shows coming out at the end of this year. And then it was like, and coming next year, And it was like fucking HBO original series, The Last of Us. And yeah, we get just quick little glimpses of like Joel and Ellie walking in the snow. We get like a flash of Nick Offerman playing Bill.
Yep.
And we get to hear Ellie kind of giving the speech of like, everyone I've ever loved or cared about has left me, everyone fucking except for you, and that's when Joel hits her with it, you have no idea
what loss is.
Yeah, and you're like, oh shit. And
yeah, and he killed that line too. Like it sounds just like him.
Yeah, his I saw people nitpicking the shit out of it where they're like, he says the line too fast, and it's like, yeah, he does say it faster than Joel does, because Joel's like, you have no idea what loss is, and his was more just a statement of you have no idea what loss is,
Yeah.
But still, the voice was there. He does a pretty good. It sounded like Joel, And then I'm trying to think, was there any? Oh yeah, we see him giving Ellie the pistol.
Yeah.
Which that's a big moment in the game of like him trusting her. But yeah, it looks really good. I was hoping maybe we'd get a peek at. We saw like some fungus on the wall, but I was hoping we'd get like a peek at one of the monsters, at one of the infected.
Mm-hmm.
But nah, they're gonna hold that back. Mm-mm.
I'm excited to see what the clickers look like.
Yeah, give them to me.
Yeah, because those ones look horrifying.
Yeah, or if they show a bloater in there.
Well, they have to, because in the story you fight one.
Right. Well, I mean, they don't have to.
Well, they should.
Right.
If they're going with the original story, I think they should.
And
now,
it doesn't make sense. Go ahead.
I was going to say, it doesn't have to be tooth to nail, but like, you need to get pretty accurate to the storyline, and that's a big part of the storyline, too.
Yeah. But, yeah, I don't know, man. It looks really good. What else you been thinking about other than Organism 46B?
What did I tell you to write down?
The Boys.
Yes. Get a sippy sip.
Yeah, get a little sip there. I'll join you.
The Boys.
Steady.
I finished it. It is single-handedly, I think, right now. It's riding so high on my list. I love everything about it. It's like call me Bob. Like, it's just too good. And I have so many questions for the fourth season, but I saw that they've already started recording or filming the fourth season, which is really cool. But I don't know. I don't want to talk about anything because you're gonna finish it, and then we're gonna really start to dive in about it. But for like since I finished it, like maybe like a week ago, that's all I've been able to talk about.
You're just annoying with it. You're like
it's just on my mind.
Yeah.
Like Morgan and I talk about that shit like day and night. Like
day and night.
Yep. What about you? What have you been thinking about?
Oh, I'm glad you asked me that. I've been thinking about
pass. Moving on.
No, I've last night actually. Yeah, we re-downloaded Alien Isolation, and you and I are playing that again.
Yeah.
And you've never played it, is that correct?
No, that's correct. I've played bits and pieces, but I've never really sat down, played the game start to finish.
Yeah. And so it's fun, but I forgot how like kind of pretty tense and scary the beginning can be.
Yeah, it's just the whole fucking thing's scary, bro.
Yeah. And I was gonna say I say that like it just stops being scary eventually. But as the game goes on, you do get like the flamethrower eventually, which doesn't kill the alien, but it like kind of pushes it back. But even that's tense because you got limited fuel and shit. So there's times where like, all right, I just got to get to the end of this hallway, and you just start sprinting. You're like, I'm just going for it. And you can hear it like, and then you hear the stomping behind you, and you're like, and you get, whip around real quick and just with the flamethrower, and it screeches and runs away. And you're like, oh God. You hear it just jump up into and you're like, got the beep, beep, on your fucking tracker.
Yeah.
You're just like, good God, fuck, it's on me.
Just the flamethrower.
Yeah. Yeah, just blast it in the face of the flamethrower so it runs away, and you're just like, you thought, bitch, And then
You're crying while you're running.
Yeah, yeah, it's fun though. It's a game that I wish would get a sequel. Like, I'll come out and say that. I'll say right now.
It's breaking news.
Breaking news. Colin from Simply Won't Podcast thinks Alien Isolation could have gotten a sequel.
Extra, read all about it.
Excuse me, mister, did you hear the news? Yeah. It's like the fucking war in Europe just ended.
Yeah. Did you hear the
news? You got strangers kissing on the street. No, so you said something last night while we were playing that actually made me think. Like, you were like, can you imagine, like, if this was co-op and you and I could play this together again? I'm like, oh, yeah.
Yeah.
But, like, I want more co-op horror games. Co-op horror is hard to pull off because, especially thinking about, like, the Outlast trials and things like that, because it's hard to make having your friend experience it with you scary. Because you're like, well, it's part of the fear a lot of times is, like, the solitary part of it. But then I think about, like, GTFO. It does a really good job of being tense and scary.
Yeah.
And Labyrinthine for sure.
Yeah, I think for me, it's the aspect of you can't hurt it.
Yeah, which, like, but I don't know, because even in GTFO. But GTFO isn't, like, outwardly horrific. It's just creepy.
Well, yeah, with GTFO, like, getting around them and, like, trying not to disturb them, that's super scary. But then
you're better off to not fight them.
Right. But after that, like, as soon as we're running back and we have to set up all the things and kill them, that's not scary to me.
No.
But, like, in Labyrinthine, you can't do anything. You can't hurt. Like, you are strictly, which is like Outlast, you're running and hiding.
Yeah.
So I think, like, games like those creep me the fuck out. Because it's just like, I'm
dead.
I
think about Labyrinthine and us just being bitches playing that.
Dude, we might have to run through it again.
That's what I was thinking the other day. I was talking to Morgan about it, and I was like, because I was trying to convince her, like, we should get her in on that. You know what I mean? Dude, but can you see her?
Oh, dude, she would hide. She would run and just stop playing, just hide in the corner, facing at the ground,
or be between us. Like running through the corn maze in the second chapter, where when we would just get dead silent and just start sprinting. She's just between us, or she's a track star. She's gone. We're left in the dust.
I don't know. Like, it's weird. You and I can literally be on the same level without talking to each other.
Oh, yeah.
Like, and that's like, especially in video games, and it's weird because, like, we're not in the same room or anything. Like, it's not couch co-op. But, like, we can both be silent, and by your character's movement, I can be like, I know what's going on. Like, I'm on you like glue.
I'm with it. Yeah. I always think about my favorite memory from us playing Labyrinthine is just when that fucking monster stepped out into the cornfield, like the corn maze, like big opening, and it starts coming towards us, and I just blood curdling screamed, "Run!" I was gone. I left your ass. Like,
dude, yeah, I know.
I gave you a warning. I told you, like, run, But I also took my own advice,
Yeah, you were.
I was like,
you were freaking the fuck out.
Yeah, and I mean, I'm dead quiet. I'm just running. I was like, did it get you? And you're like, no, I'm right behind you. And I'm like, oh, okay.
Yeah. Yeah, it took me a second, but I caught up to you. And I was like, damn, he wasn't waiting for me.
No, I was like, well, I as soon as I ran into the corn, in my head, I was like, well, Chris died, Like, well, shit, I got him,
Well, shit.
Well, shit. Yeah, I did too. I was like, rah! And I just dipped, and I was already sure that you were gone. And I was like, yeah, did it get you? Did it get you? You're like, no, I'm right behind you. And I turn around, and you were like, in me.
We'll have to talk about that game too, because I wanna keep telling stories, but I feel like our audience is lost.
They better catch up,
Yeah.
But no, you got anything else you were thinking about, or is that it?
I mean, really, yeah, just that's it with the boys. My trip, it was a lot of fun. I just partied hard and then used sunscreen. Yeah, used sunscreen once on the first day, got super burnt, and then just said fuck it for the rest of like the 4 days we were there.
Did
And
you
so
remember to reapply?
No, no.
Yeah, that'll do you.
So I came back and my skin was like 3rd degree, basically.
Yeah, you could have cooked an egg on his fucking just from the heat coming off that thing.
Mm-hmm. Scrambled, baby, scrambled.
All right, well, we want to thank you guys so much for your attention and support. If you guys enjoyed this episode, be sure to give it a great review. Tell your friends about us. Word of mouth, obviously, a big endorsement for us. Share us on social media. Subscribe to us on whatever you're listening to this on, whether it be Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Deezer, any of those. Chris, if people want to get in touch with us, give us some feedback, ask us questions. How would they do that? Call us pussies, you know?
Yep, bingo. Yeah, of course. You could always reach out to us on our YouTube, Instagram, and Facebook, Simply Whelmed Podcast. Our Twitter handle is whelmed_simply. And then, of course, you can send us an email at simplywhelmedmailbag@gmail.com.
That's right.
And I just want to go and say for the record that, like, I memorized that shit. I listened to that last episode. I don't write it down. I don't nothing. It's just, I'll just start with one and just slowly work my way down.
Just got that shit locked.
Yeah, you made that side comment, saying how I was fucking up because I couldn't remember it. Really got to me.
Said you were fucking it up because you couldn't remember it?
Yeah, because I kept not being able to remember it.
Oh. So yeah, you're talking early on. I was like,
yeah,
I didn't make that comment last week. What are you talking?
It really got to me, man. Yeah,
But no. So next week, we may have caught up on our TV shows by then. Better Call Saul and The Boys, but I don't know about that.
I think we could. I think it's possible.
Yeah, it's technically possible. It'd be better off that I catch up on The Boys, and you catch up to me on the Breaking Bad or on Better Call Saul, and then you and I together can finish Better Call Saul. That way, we can finish that. But yeah, we could talk about The Boys still. So, anyways, yeah, who knows? We might be able to do that. But apparently, the new Stallone superhero movie on Amazon called Samaritan is worth a watch. So maybe we check that out and talk about that. But honestly, I wouldn't be opposed to doing another topic episode either. Like, I enjoy doing these.
Yeah. Maybe we could do... we'll talk about it. I don't know. I got a couple ideas.
Yeah. But yeah, let us know what you think, guys. Write in, tell us what you want to hear.
Yeah. Tell me, I want to hear... I want an email saying that they're glad to see that I'm back. Because Daddy's home.
That's right. Old Daddy here.
I got the milk. Like, it's here. It's in my hand. You thought I was gone, but I'm back, baby.
I thought he was done. I thought for sure the fucking pack of Newport Kings was more important than his boy, but here he is.
I got the milk. I got the cigarettes. Let's play some ball.
Whoa. Thank you everyone so much for listening. We will see you next Wednesday. That's the end of the show, Chris. Tell everybody bye.
Bye.
But no, yeah, just fucking, I'm back, bitches. And you just get so many comments that are like, bring Morgan back. Get that shit out of here.
It's Becca, bitches. Party's here.